Team, as they always are, spot on, fast on the scene, and the 21-year-old climbs from his car. Just what happened? Wow, big gap between DK and Alex Palou. Just got loose down in the middle of turn 2. Wow, fireball as the gearbox explodes, dumps probably all the oil out. And Scott Dixon heads up.
What the fuck?
That accident, looking behind.
Back of Alex Palou, you see a big wiggle. He catches it very similar to that practice crash from Colton Herta, just in turn 2, not in turn 1. And that is all she wrote for the 21 Bitnile car.
And just 6 laps on the tires, Diff. I wonder if he had really adjusted the car in traffic and then ended up in some clean air and all that front downforce as Mom looks on.
Mom on the right-hand side, that's Evie. She knows how good her boy is, but his day is done. Marty?
And Diff, he said it just snapped on me, and you could hear it in his voice. He knew how good of a car they had. He said, I am so sorry, guys. And, you know, Hinch, it's going to be an issue today maybe with the temperatures coming up, and you can feel it here on pit road. I know the track temperatures are creeping up as this race goes along.
Temperatures are coming up, winds coming up.
This is what
the result.
Always, as you know, Hinch, this always changes the complexion of a race. The first caution on lap 38, Rias VK, the first retirement.
That was a proper.
One of the most celebrated returns to Indy 2022, in addition to the grandstands being open for everybody, is this, the legendary Snake Pit. And if you thought things were crazy on the track, maybe it's time you go and visit the Snake Pit. That's where our Rutledge Wood was before. And where do we find Rut now?
You know, Lee, with 300,000 people here, the Snake Pit had 30. It was packed. I just needed a little time to myself to enjoy this racing. And I'm in a swan boat. I'm having the time of my life, but the wind is strong out here, Tarico, and it doesn't seem to matter which way I steer. I just sort of bob around, but hey, I got room if one of you guys wants to join me, buddy.
All right, note on the scanner, Rutledge complaining about too much understeer.
out there in the Swan boat. Thanks, Rutt. Up here in the Peacock pit box. Scott Dixon's pit right behind us, rest of pit road. Down behind Dale Jr. You're over there closest. You're feeling the wind. That's part of the story here thus far.
Yeah, I think it's going to be part of the story and get more, get stronger as the day goes. It started out about 10-mile-an-hour winds, and it's going to get up to around 13, 14 miles an hour, but the gusts are the problem. The gusts will be over 60 miles an hour by the end of this race. It's head-on into the driver's face going down the front straightaway, going to make the car loose into 1, and then it's going to be behind you, pushing you down the back straightaway, going to have some big speed into 3, but no air on the nose, and the car's going to be real tight. So it's going to be interesting how the drivers will have to adjust the car, Danica, as they're running the lap to accumulate that wind.
Well, one of the things that we have in Indy cars is a lot of controls, a lot of cockpit adjustments. So these drivers are not a stranger to having to make a lot of adjustments a lot of the time out there. They might be changing their weight jacker and all kinds of different things between end and end, and they do that in qualifying and all the time. So they're pretty conditioned and ready for that, but it's still, if things get busy out there in traffic, I mean, you forget to make an adjustment and all of a sudden it's, one of the ends doesn't grip and you've got a problem.
Always part of the story what happens on pit road. Got through those first pit stops without a problem. But 1/5 of the race gone by, and we've lost somebody from row 1. Rinus VeeKay out of the race. Rutledge Wood in a one-man race that he might not win on a Swan in a boat at Indy.
You might have heard of Carvana and that we sell cars online. What you probably didn't know is that we're in the business of making you happy. We believe buying a car should be something that gets you hyped up, that you should be empowered to shop when you want, where you want, wearing whatever you want, and that your new car ought to come with newfound happiness and 0 surprises. So we promise that we'll treat you right, we'll put you in control, and all of us will stop at nothing to drive you happy.
We'll drive you happy at Carvana.
We were getting undressed, and I thought, what does this have to do with heaven?
Naomi helped Warren stay on the run.
I am so grateful to be the wife of our holy prophet.
Where do you want me to start?
Gillette presents the Gillette Labs with Exfoliating Bar, a razor designed to take the hassle out of your routine for an effortless shave in one efficient stroke. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris that gets in the way of the blades, so nothing gets between you and a quick and easy shave. And you get it all with a lifetime warranty. Gillette, the best a man can get.
We're marooned on this planet because of me. I need to make it right.
We could help you.
The probability of survival is 38%.
Seems a bit low.
One day you're going to come up against something you don't think you can do. And then you're going to do it. Let's get everyone home. And from then on, you're you.
Disney Pixar's Lightyear. Rated PG. Only in theaters.
Birthday breakfast in bed.
Best roommate ever. This is so weird. I just dreamt this.
Liza Koshy and Nick Jonas match their moves and win big money. Dancing with Myself premieres Tuesday, 10/9 Central on NBC and streaming on Peacock. Sounds like Townsend Bell's former life, Dancing by Myself. We want to thank our friends Honda for giving us the wonderful aerial coverage. But back to things a little more serious. Rinus VeeKay out of the race, spectacular crash. He was okay. The 21-year-old Dutch driver stepped from the car. It has reset this field. But somebody, Kevin Lee, who wasn't really enjoying things again, was Team Penske's Will Power. Tell us more.
He said the car was really good the first half of the first stint, then just went wicked loose. They made changes on the stop, no better. So they came in again under this yellow and then stalled it as well coming that out. Lost a few more spots. So he's all the way back to 30th. A lot of work to do for Will Power.
And what's great about these pit stops and an opportunity like that is these cars are tunable. We see the crew guys adjusting the front wing on the car. That's adjusting the angle of that front wing, which controls how much air is pushing down. We call it the center of pressure, essentially the balance between the amount of air pressing down on the front of the car versus the back of the car. It can really affect the handling. So Will not happy with his car, but over this long race and all these stops down, so you can come in, you can not only work on it in the car with those tools Danica was talking about, but also the pit crew can help you with wing changes and also tire pressure adjustments.
Yeah, but you will not want to be stalling that race car if it comes to a green flag stop. Luckily for Power, that happened under caution. He just lost a couple of spots, but stayed on the lead lap.
A couple of Indy 500 rookies. Yes, feels weird saying rookie for 10-year Formula One veteran Romain Grosjean, but in the DHL Honda, the Andretti Autosport driver is really settling beautifully here at the Brickyard. So Romain runs 11th. Behind him, David Malukas. David had a huge crash after colliding with Santino Ferrucci on Carb Day on Friday. So the Dale Coyne with HMD Racing has done a terrific job with this car, and the 20-year-old is doing awesome. And Connor Daly, Indiana's own, is tucked in behind them as we get ready to go back to racing, almost quarter race distance. Let's get back to it here. The 106th Indy 500.
3 Chip Ganassi Racing Hondas up front, but there's a bunch of Chevys 4 wide.
Bad start from Felix Rosenquist, Santino Ferrucci, Takuma Sato, and Tony Kanaan up the inside. Look at all his position change. That was an incredible run. I think Santino Ferrucci comes out okay in that deal.
Sato went right around the outside, the two-time Indianapolis 500 winner. We're on board with Connor Daly.
A lot of big eyes right now because at Indianapolis, restarts means opportunity as Tony Kanaan to the inside of Sato there in the purple car.
That's a Ryan Hunter race special down into turn 3, but a great drive from the number 1, Tony Kanaan, to get that position. This white and blue car for Chip Ganassi Racing, he wants to get up with his teammates, and he is getting there.
4 Ganassi cars in the top 6, and this is O'Ward to the inside of Ericsson to that orange and black car. Now, Aero McLaren SP wants to mix it up with the strongest team in the field so far.
This Mexican youngster has just had his contract renewed through the end of 2025. He's not going anywhere, and he will continue to be a star of the NTT IndyCar Series. So Dixon Palou, O'Ward,